Hey, what is going on everyone? In today's video, I want to show you 10 beginner tips for playing RuneScape Dragonwilds. Now, of course, this game just came out, so really everyone kind of is a beginner unless you played in the alpha, but I played a good amount on launch day, and these are just a bunch of tips that me and my group were able to figure out, so I'm just hoping it helps you guys out as well. And of course, if this video does end up helping you out, definitely drop a like down below. It really does help support the channel. And if you would like to see more RuneScape Dragonwilds content, please leave a comment down below. This is a new game for my channel, so I'm just trying it out, so I'd love to know your opinion. Alright, so without further ado, let's hop into it. Now the first tip here is going to be about mining rune essence. Now obviously you can come to these spots here and you can just use your pickaxe and you're able to mine it that way, but you're going to have trouble actually getting some of these that are floating in the air. Well, if you do enough mining, which is pretty early on in the game, I would say, you'll end up unlocking at level 11 a spell called Rocksplosion. So once you unlock this spell, they show you using it on stone, but you can actually use it here to get a few of these that are floating in the air. So if I just go ahead and start to cast this, you're gonna basically want to wait till some of these stones are maybe a little bit lower. If they're too high up, it's not going to be able to get it, but I'm going to try it right here and see if I can get these two stones that are floating in the air. I got one of them there along with a few others, so that's just a way to get a few extra rune essence when you're at these locations, because you can't really mine them with a pickaxe, but you can use the Rocksplosion spell. Now the second tip here is going to be about cutting down trees. So you can use a spell called Astral Projection, and you unlock this in your woodcutting leveling here at level 11. So once you unlock that, you're actually able to use it on multiple trees. So once you go ahead and take out your Astral Projection right here, you can see it's highlighting the one tree that I'll be throwing it at, but if I line these up, you'll see that I can actually hit multiple trees at once, and obviously if there was another one right behind that, you'd be able to get it. There is a certain amount of range here that it can go, but if I just have both of them highlighted and I use it, you'll see that I'll actually cut down both trees. And then once these are cut down, this is kind of a little bonus tip here. Instead of left clicking to chop these up, you're doing 15 damage each, at least with my axe right now. If you right click, you'll actually end up doing more damage. You're doing 23 there, and these things will break down a little bit quicker. Another tip here is related to base building. So if you go into your build menu and you choose something to build here, your normal setting is just going to place these items as you're building them, but there actually is a ghost mode or a ghost building mode in the game. In the bottom right, you can see that if you hit F, you can actually toggle the ghost mode. So this will just basically place this ghost schematic down and not actually contribute any resources until you have them, so you can plan out your base without actually using the materials for it. And you can also go in your build menu here and you'll see you're able to toggle ghost mode on the left side. Also related to base building, if you head into your skills and go to your construction tab, once you hit level 11, you'll get an Eye of Oculus spell, and this is basically flight mode when you're building your base. So if I go and I use this Eye of Oculus spell, you'll see that it will put me into a sort of flight mode where I'm able to choose the object that I want to place, and then I can just fly around my base pretty freely, and I'm able to place these things wherever I want to. And speaking of construction, there is a pretty decent way to try to level up your construction decently fast. So if you go and you build, if I head to my build menu, you'll see the crafting table here. It only costs ash logs, so if you just stock up a little bit on ash logs, you can just go ahead and place down a bunch of crafting tables, and you'll get 12 XP per one. And you can see I just leveled up my construction right there, and then you can just go ahead and demolish them and basically rebuild them, and just kind of do that over and over if you want to. Now, not every item that you're actually building here is going to be giving you construction XP, but I found that this is probably just the quickest way to do it, especially in the early game. If you just want to level up to get a certain part of the construction tree, you can just kind of use this method. So there you go. And the next tip here is that you are definitely going to want to put a lodestone at your base. These are the fast travel points that let you teleport between them, and you'll be able to unlock this after the first vault that you do. You'll get something called a vault core, and it should unlock the recipe for the lodestone. But the real tip here is making sure that you always have the materials for a lodestone on you. So if you look at that, it is 32 stone, 20 rune essence, and 1 vault core. So once you just have those on you, then anytime you're out and about, you can just drop down one of these lodestones, teleport back to your base lodestone, and then, you know, empty out your inventory, whatever you need to do. You can see we have a few of them placed kind of all over the place, and they're very quick to kind of go between. But if I'm in the swamp right here, if I, wanted to get away or just needed to go back to my base to unload my inventory, I could just place down a lodestone and then I can just pop right back at my base. So always make sure that you have the materials for a lodestone when you're out adventuring. Now, if you're using a staff in the game, this is something that wasn't totally obvious to us. It might be more obvious to you, but you can switch the element that your staff is just by going into your inventory, head over to the rune tab, and you'll see that there are 2 runes here. I have a fire rune and an air rune that have this little orange icon above them. So if I right click on the air rune, my staff will turn into an air staff, and it will use those air runes. And then if I go and I right click on the fire rune, now I have a fire staff. So you're able to switch between those elements there. We've only found that air and fire are the ones that you can use with the staff. I'm not sure if there's any more out there, but there could be. Another tip is that when you craft certain armor, such as this apprentice robe here, you'll notice that there is an additional bar above my health bar. And if I go ahead and I remove this chest piece, you'll see that that disappears. If I put it back, it goes right back here. Now, this is the only one I have found. So this only has 25. I'm not sure if there are some that are better, but I believe this is magic defense or just an extra shield that you can have over your health. But the way that you recharge these is you head over to your rune altar, and you'll see there's something you can create called Wardstones. They cost 1 stone and 5 rune essence, so they're pretty cheap. So I would always have some of these on you as well when you're out adventuring, because then you just right click on one of them and it's going to fully restore that purple bar right above the health bar, which I believe is the shield. I don't know if it's specifically magic defense, but I believe it's just a shield that you can have above your health. So make sure you always have some Wardstones on you, and make sure that you're looking out for armor that has that extra shield on it, because some of the base armor doesn't. Another tip is that when you're going through the vaults, make sure that you're also looking for secret areas. Some of them are going to be behind thorns, some of them will be behind stones, but then also some of them are above you. So make sure that you're always looking above you. Also look at the ground, see what it's kind of hinting at here. You can see it's kind of a ramp for you to go up, and then you can use your air runes right here, and you can hop right up in this little secret area, and you'll see there are some chests here. There's also a lever to actually open up this door, and then there is a vault core right here. This is in the first vault in the game, but make sure that you're looking up a lot in these vaults, because there are secrets in each of them that I've played at least. And the last tip here is that if your hunger and thirst are 100% depleted, you will lose health, but you will not die. You will still live with just 1 health. So we found this out because one of our buddies went AFK, and when he came back, he was still alive. He just had 1 point of health. And then it happened to me as well when I went AFK a little bit. So just keep that in mind as well, especially if you're like the host of your game for your friends. You might not want to leave the game if you have to go do something. You can just try to stay alive. And then if you do end up dying because of a dragon attack or something like that, you can always go back and get your gravestone and get all your belongings back anyway. But I would show that to you guys in the game, but it actually does take a bit of time for it to go down, even when it's really low like it is for me right now. But you got to trust me on this. This is what happens in the current state of the game, is that you will not die. You will just have 1 health at the end of it. So there you have it, folks. There are some beginner tips that me and my group figured out as we played on day one. Please let me know what you thought of this video. Like I said, this is a new game for my channel, and I'm trying to expand to other survival games and similar games in the genre. I know I normally post Once Human content, but let me know what you think of this down below. Hopefully it did help out. If it did, be sure to like and subscribe for more survival game content. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, folks. Have a great rest of your day and take care.